What if the only thing standing between you and financial freedom isn't your job, your income, or your opportunities, but the way you've been thinking about money your entire life? Imagine discovering the mindset that has helped countless self-made millionaires build wealth from ordinary beginnings. What if changing the way you think could completely change the way you earn, save, invest, and build your future? Because the truth is, before you can become wealthy on the outside, you first have to become wealthy on the inside. In Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Harv Eker explains that financial success doesn't begin in your bank account. It begins in your mind. In this summary, you'll discover how wealthy people think differently, why your mindset matters more than your paycheck, and the habits that can completely transform your financial future. Before we begin, if you're ready to develop the mindset that builds wealth and financial freedom, subscribe and turn on notifications. Every week, you'll discover powerful ideas from the world's best books to help you think smarter, grow richer, and become the best version of yourself. Now, let's begin with the most important lesson in the entire book. Your financial blueprint controls your financial life. Imagine planting an apple seed. No matter how much you water it, no matter how much sunlight it receives, it will never grow oranges. The same principle applies to money. Your financial results are the fruit. Your financial blueprint is the root. Most people spend their lives trying to change the fruit without ever changing the root. They switch jobs, start businesses, buy new courses, search for the next investment, yet they keep ending up in the same financial situation. Why? Because their subconscious beliefs remain the same. If deep down you believe that rich people are greedy, that money is difficult to earn, or that you don't deserve financial success, your mind will quietly push you back toward those beliefs. You may earn more money for a while, but sooner or later, you'll find a way to lose it. That's why Eker argues that lasting wealth begins with changing your internal programming before changing your bank account. The next lesson explains exactly how wealthy people think differently. Rich people play to win. Most people don't actually play the money game to become rich. They simply play not to lose. Think about the difference. One person says, "I want to become financially free." Another says, "I just don't want to struggle anymore." Those two statements may sound similar, but they produce completely different actions. When your goal is simply to avoid problems, you'll usually settle for comfort. But when your goal is to create wealth, you'll actively search for opportunities. According to Eker, rich people focus on abundance. Poor people focus on scarcity. Rich people ask, "How can I create more value?" Poor people ask, "What if I fail?" One mindset expands possibilities. The other creates limitations. The goal isn't blind optimism. It's training your mind to look for opportunities instead of obstacles, because the questions you ask yourself determine the answers your mind will find. And that mindset alone can completely change the direction of your financial life. One of the biggest differences between wealthy people and everyone else isn't how much they earn. It's how they respond to responsibility. Most people blame something when money isn't going well. The economy, their boss, their family, their past, or simply bad luck. And while those things can certainly influence your life, Harv Eker argues that they should never control your future. The moment you blame something outside yourself, you also give away your power to change your situation. Wealth begins the moment you take full responsibility for your financial life, not because everything is your fault, but because only you can change what happens next. Successful people ask, "What can I do differently?" Unsuccessful people ask, "Why does this always happen to me?" One question creates solutions, the other creates excuses. According to Eker, your income can only grow to the extent that you do. That's why personal growth isn't separate from financial growth. They're connected. The more discipline you develop, the more valuable skills you build, the more responsibility you accept, the more opportunities naturally begin to appear. The next lesson completely changes the way many people think about success. Rich people admire success. Poor people resent it. Have you ever heard someone say, "Rich people are greedy. Money changes people. Millionaires are selfish"? These beliefs may seem harmless, but they quietly shape your financial future. Think about it. If you truly believe wealthy people are dishonest or selfish, why would your subconscious ever want you to become one of them? It wouldn't. Your mind naturally avoids becoming something it dislikes. That's why Eker says you must learn to admire success instead of criticizing it. When you see someone driving a beautiful car, building a successful business, or achieving financial freedom, instead of feeling jealous, ask yourself, what can I learn from them? Successful people don't become poorer by celebrating someone else's success, and you don't become richer by resenting it. The energy you spend comparing yourself to others could be spent improving yourself instead. The next lesson is one that many people struggle to accept. Comfort is the enemy of wealth. Everyone wants a comfortable life. But growth rarely happens inside your comfort zone. Every promotion, every business, every investment, every new opportunity requires uncertainty. Most people avoid discomfort because it feels risky. Wealthy people understand that temporary discomfort is often the price of long-term freedom. That doesn't mean taking reckless risks. It means being willing to feel uncomfortable while learning something new. Starting a business may feel uncomfortable. Speaking to new clients may feel uncomfortable. Investing for the first time may feel uncomfortable. But every one of those moments expands your confidence. The life you want usually exists just beyond the fears you're avoiding. That's why Eker says, if you're only willing to do what's easy, life will always be hard. Growth demands courage, and courage often comes before confidence, not after it. The more willing you are to face temporary discomfort, the greater your chances of creating permanent financial freedom. Finally, Eker shares another powerful lesson. Focus on opportunities, not obstacles. Every person faces problems. The difference is where they place their attention. Most people spend their days thinking about everything that could go wrong. What if I fail? What if I lose money? What if people judge me? Successful people ask different questions. What if this works? What can I learn? What's the opportunity hiding inside this challenge? Your mind works like a search engine. Whatever question you ask, it immediately begins searching for answers. If you constantly search for reasons you can't succeed, you'll find them. But if you train yourself to search for opportunities, you'll begin seeing possibilities that others completely overlook. That's one of the most valuable mindset shifts in the entire book, because before you can change your financial reality, you first have to change the way you see it. Perhaps the biggest misconception about becoming wealthy is that money alone changes your life. According to Harv Eker, it doesn't. Money simply makes you more of who you already are. If you're generous with little, you'll likely be generous with a lot. If you're irresponsible with small amounts, having more money won't suddenly make you disciplined. That's why Eker insists that before your income grows, your character must grow with it. Wealth isn't just something you have, it's someone you become. The next lesson is one of the most practical in the entire book. Make your money work harder than you do. Most people spend their entire lives working for money. They trade time for income. The problem is that time is limited. There are only 24 hours in a day. No matter how hard you work, you eventually reach a limit. Wealthy people understand that real financial freedom begins when your money starts generating more money. Instead of spending every dollar they earn, they invest part of it. Those investments begin producing income. Then that income is invested again. Over time, their money grows even while they sleep. This is why investing isn't only for the wealthy. It's one of the ways people become wealthy. The sooner your money starts working for you, the less you'll have to depend entirely on your paycheck. Because true financial freedom isn't working harder forever. It's creating systems that continue producing value long after the work has been done. Another lesson challenges one of the most common fears people have. Don't let fear make your financial decisions. Fear is natural. Everyone experiences it. even successful entrepreneurs, even experienced investors. The difference isn't that wealthy people feel less fear. It's that they don't allow fear to make their decisions for them. Many people never start investing because they're afraid of losing money. They never launch a business because they're afraid of failing. They never ask for a promotion because they're afraid of rejection. Years pass. Nothing changes. Not because they lacked ability, but because fear quietly kept them standing still. Eker explains that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's acting despite fear. Every successful person has faced uncertainty. The only difference is that they refuse to let uncertainty stop them. Remember this: the biggest risk is often doing nothing, because while you're waiting for the perfect moment, time keeps moving, and opportunities keep passing by. The final lesson may be the simplest, yet one of the most life-changing. Think bigger than your own needs. Many people want more money for one reason: to buy more things, a bigger house, a nicer car, more comfort. But wealthy people often think beyond themselves. They focus on creating value, building businesses, solving problems, helping other people. The larger the value you create for others, the greater the rewards tend to become. Money is often the result of solving meaningful problems. Instead of asking, "How can I make more money?" try asking, "How can I help more people?" That simple shift changes everything. Because when you focus on creating value, wealth often follows naturally. In the end, financial success isn't just about accumulating money. It's about becoming the kind of person capable of creating it, managing it, and using it wisely. And that's exactly what a millionaire mindset is all about. At first, the lessons and secrets of the millionaire mind may seem surprisingly simple. Take responsibility. Think bigger. Embrace opportunities. Invest in yourself. Make your money work for you. Simple ideas. But simple doesn't mean easy. Most people already know they should save more. Most people know they should invest. Most people know they should stop fearing failure. The real challenge isn't knowing what to do. It's consistently doing it. That's why so many people stay stuck in the same financial situation year after year. They try to change their income without ever changing the beliefs that control their decisions. Harv Eker reminds us that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. If you want different financial results, you first need a different financial mindset. Because wealth doesn't begin in your bank account. It begins in your mind. Every successful habit, every smart investment, every courageous decision starts with the way you think. And once your thinking changes, your actions begin to change as well. Over time, those actions produce completely different results. Perhaps the greatest lesson from this book is that becoming wealthy isn't about becoming a different person. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. Someone who takes responsibility instead of making excuses. Someone who sees opportunities where others see obstacles. Someone who keeps learning, growing, and taking action, even when success isn't guaranteed. Because the people who achieve financial freedom aren't necessarily the smartest. They're the ones who develop the habits and mindset that allow wealth to grow year after year. So instead of asking yourself, "How can I make more money?" ask a better question. What beliefs about money are holding me back? That single question could change the direction of your financial future. If you enjoyed this summary, remember that reading about success won't make you successful. Applying these principles will. Choose just one lesson from this video and begin practicing it today. A year from now, you'll be amazed by how much your mindset and your life can change. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next book summary.